Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are watching the YouTube station identification of one of New Bedford, Massachusetts resident YouTubers. I'm here live in the basement. No, this is not NTV's remote control, and I am not Ken Ober. God rest his soul. My name is Eric Lima, and you're watching WEML-TV Channel 77, Episode 154. Pleased to have you here on the show. It is April the 15th, 2020. It is tax day all over the country. But also, it's a very special day. I'll get into that. But it's 10:06 a.m. Y'all remember thinking, Eric, you get out of work at 11. What are you doing at home? I'm on vacation for another couple of days, and then I go back to work on Monday, and then I get a new week of work going, and I got one more vacation week to use up left, and then that's it. So April the 15th, let's talk about that date. It was known as Jackie Robinson Day. Also, it was Patriots Day back in 2013. After the Red Sox defeated Tampa Bay Rays in 3-2 on a walk-off RBI double by Mike Napoli. About minutes later after that, two bombs went off at the finish line of the Boston Marathon on Boylston Street. Two brothers planted those bombs, resulting in the deaths of 3 people and injuring many others. The 4th death came when they shot a police officer to get away. One brother was shot dead during a standoff. The other hid in a boat and was found and was captured. The Boston Marathon bombing has affected a lot of lives, especially up in Boston. They postponed a couple of games to help support the effort to capture those individuals. Those individuals were captured. It was very, very tough on the city of Boston. But when they finally decided to resume a normal life back in 2013, even David Ortiz had a passionate speech. And the most famous words that came out of that speech was, "This is our bleeping city." You know what he said. I'm not going to repeat it. And the words Boston strong. And comments from many of the baseball fans, including Yankee fans, are very classy, very respectful, and they said, "Hey, we're with you, Boston. We know what it's like. We hit 9/11 hit us," and especially from New York. And I want to thank those fans, Yankees and Mets fans in New York, who, you guys know what it was like to go through a tragedy, a big-time tragedy, when 9/11 happened in 2001, which would be this coming September 20 years ago, which is really strange. I mean, the last 20 years, our country has been through a lot since that date. And when September 11th comes around again this year, I'll talk a little bit more about it. But it has been 8 years since this happened, and the Red Sox that same year went on to have one of the best seasons that Major League Baseball had, and they ever had, winning their 3rd World Series. I mean, imagine, I have to admit, though, when 9/11 happened and the Yankees made the playoffs, and that was for only then, out of respect for what has happened and everything else, I would root for the Yankees. Hopefully that would help them win the World Series to heal a city that has been racked by tragedy at that time. But then again, there's the Red Sox fan inside me that wants the Yankees to lose, and they did. to Arizona in 7 games after Luis Gonzalez hit that walk-off hit. But the Yankees did provide a lot of excitement in baseball that year for the fans in New York. I tip my hat to the Yankees about that. And they, so in return, they tipped our hats off to us Boston folks when the Boston Marathon happened, when the bombing happened in the Boston Marathon. Red Sox had a bunch of bearded brothers that came together. Mike Napoli and Johnny Gomes were two of the most bearded dudes ever. They ended up winning. The Red Sox ended up winning the World Series that year in 2013. Shane Victorino, whose grand slam in the ALCS in Game 6 gave the Red Sox that World Series berth. Koji Uehara, one of the most enthusiastic closers in Red Sox history, in my opinion, besides Papelbon. Brought a lot of energy to that team. Shane Victorino. You got Xander Bogaerts was just a rookie when the Red Sox won the World Series. I mean, Dustin Pedroia was the spark plug. Jacoby Ellsbury at that time was one of the spark plug Red Sox third baseman. Big Papi. David Ross. I may go on. And the Red Sox, winning the World Series in 2013, I thought was the coolest thing ever. Brought joy to a city that was full of tragedy that year. That was racked with tragedy that year. When the Duck Boat Parade was made, the Red Sox made it a point to stop by the finish line at the Boston Marathon. Johnny Gomes suggested that was the idea. And everybody agreed. Duck Boat stopped by. Johnny Gomes grabbed the World Series trophy in that Boston Strong jersey, laid that trophy down at the finish line, and put that Boston Strong 617 jersey over it. I thought it was really cool. And it is a moment that we will never forget, that we Red Sox Nation will never forget. We Boston fans will never forget. Baseball fans will never forget. For that one moment in time, baseball wasn't important as far as competitive baseball. But just playing the sport of baseball does help. It entertains us. I like to see players get so full of joy. Today will be one Boston day. We're Boston strong forever. I'll tell you what, our Boston sports teams over the years have provided us with a lot of, over the past 20 years, have provided us with a lot of great moments. When after 9/11 happened, remember the New England Patriots still wanted to play football. We want to get back to our regular lives, and that's what they did. And they went on to win their first Super Bowl. It was like appropriate at the time. We were all Patriots, and the Patriots are world champions. Nobody knows what the meaning of the word Patriot means. It's just more than a nickname for a football team. It means a person willing to stand up for their country. That's basically what it is. To me, that's what a patriot really means. A person willing to stand up for his or her country. It ain't just about a football team. I mean, granted, there has been a lot going down. So remember those who we lost that day, that horrible day in 2013. Could a young kid at the age of 8 years old who was a big Bruins fan. I thought during that time the same year the Bruins would win the Stanley Cup when they were playing a very tough Chicago Blackhawks team. And they didn't. But the Red Sox says, don't worry, Bruins, we got you back. And they did. And they ended up winning the World Series that year. So, to all those out there, Boston strong. And today, Red Sox playing against the Twins this afternoon. Hopefully, we complete the sweep. Twins are a very tough team. The Red Sox now riding high on the momentum. Let's see what happens. That's all the time we have on this show. And I hope everyone has a great and wonderful day. And a reminder, Brendan Martin's Rant and Rave podcast will be interim hosted by me tonight, alongside Michael Bombardier and Andrew Hawking, and another participant in the tryouts for a fourth co-host. Brendan Martin says he will make that decision, from what I'm told. So we will do that tonight. So tune in, 8 o'clock, Rant and Rave podcast, episode number 79. Okay? You guys have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you tonight at the Rant and Rave podcast on the chat. And I hope you guys tune in, be blessed, and peace.